in the heart of an ancient whispering forest, where the sun dappled through the thick canopy, and the air was always filled with the fragrance of wildflowers. There lived a bear named Wooly. Wooly was not like other bears. He was gentle, thoughtful, and had an unending love for stories. He believed that every leaf in the forest and every ripple in the stream had its own tale to tell. One crisp morning, as the forest awoke to the melody of birdsong, Wooly set out to visit his dear friend Thistle, a small, anxious boar who had found bravery in the most unexpected of places. Thistle lived on the other side of the meadow, where the grass swayed in soft whispers and the flowers nodded their heads in greeting. As Wooly ambled through the forest, he pondered what story the day might bring. He didn't have to wonder for long. Near the edge of the meadow, under the shade of a grand oak tree, Wooly and Thistle stumbled upon a sight that would indeed make for a very special story. There, caught in the thicket, was a little bird with feathers as blue as the midday sky. She was the smallest bird they had ever seen, and it was clear she was far from home. They learned her name was Flutter, a name that suited the rapid beating of her tiny heart. "Won't you help me find my way back home?" Flutter's voice was as soft as the breeze, yet it carried a weight of sadness that tugged at Wooly's heart. Without hesitation, Wooly and Thistle agreed. They would help Flutter find her way back, for no adventure was too great when it came to aiding a friend in need. They knew they would need the wisdom and skills of their other friends, so they set off to gather their little band of adventurers. First, they sought Hopper, a hare with a zest for life that was unmatched in the forest. Hopper's energy was infectious, and his ability to leap great distances with a single bound was legendary. Next, they called upon Sage, a tortoise as old as the forest itself. Sage's wisdom was sought after by all who lived in the forest, for there was no problem too great or too small that Sage could not ponder over and offer counsel on. Lastly, they approached Bramble, a hedgehog whose outlook on life was decidedly less sunny than his friends. Despite his somewhat gloomy disposition, Bramble had a heart of gold and would do anything for his friends. Together, they formed a circle around Flutter, each offering their promise to help her return to her home. They listened intently as Flutter described her home, a place of towering trees, clear singing streams, and a nest hidden amongst the laughing leaves of a giant oak tree, not unlike the one they found her under. Their journey was set, their spirits high. They would traverse the forest, from the deepest valley to the highest hill, in search of Flutter's home. They would face challenges, of that they were certain. But together, there was no obstacle too daunting, no journey too perilous. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Wooly and his friends stepped into the forest, embarking on an adventure that would weave them into a story of friendship, courage, and discovery. A story that would remind them all of the magic that unfolds when hearts join together to help one another. This was the beginning of a journey that would bind them in ways they could not yet imagine. A tale that would be told and retold under the canopy of the ancient forest for generations to come.